Obviously, left foot cutting in. You know, I believe as well that number 10 shirt is available. And for me, I would like to see Ansu Fati, who was basically doing what Lamine Yamal is doing now. Because Ansu Fati also made his debut at 16 for Barcelona, and obviously had a few injuries. Obviously there was comparisons to, obviously not identical to Messi, but obviously 16-year-old breaking through at Barcelona. Obviously he's right-footed, but had a few injuries. Then went on loan to Brighton. Obviously didn't really play too much at Brighton because of injuries as well. But he's back at Barcelona, and I'm hopeful that he can kind of rediscover the potential that everyone saw in him. And I think number 10 shirt, as I said, is available at Barca because it was held by Ansu Fati before he departed for Brighton. So it'd be interesting to see if they give Lamine Yamal that number 10, or they give it to or they give it back to Ansu Fati. And obviously, if it is given to Yamal, obviously they're going to be inevitable comparisons with Messi. Left foot, number 10 now. But yeah, I think in terms of what's out there right now in terms of young talent, for me, you've got him and Musiala. I don't see too many players around that age bracket. I mean, Musiala's 20, Yamal's 16. I think those two will probably be the standout players for me in terms of young talents. I like Arda Güler as well from Real Madrid, Turkish left-footed one. I think you can put him up there as well. But yeah, I think Lamine Yamal, man, I think he's going to be a top player, man, and hopefully he continues to light up this tournament. His test, as I said, will come up against the better teams to see what he does, to see if he gets bullied out of the game or if he can kind of hold his own. But I think, yeah, the sky's the limit for him, man, to be honest. Unlike, I don't think Nico Williams on the other side, I don't rate him too much. I think he's more of a pace merchant, which this football seems to be flooded with these kind of players now, which gets on my nerves. I mean, what do you think of him? Do you think he's a good player, Nico Williams?
Again, to be honest with you, I didn't actually know who he was until I watched him. But yeah, I mean, he seemed like, more like he's using his physicality to get past players in terms of his pace. So I would say that probably the one with the bigger future would be,
Yeah. I think Nico Williams is. I think Nico might be 9. He might be 19 or 20. Yeah. But me personally, I think the reason Nico Williams has got as far as he has Spanish football is because of his pace. Because obviously Spain as a league isn't notoriously notable for pace. So I think if you're someone that's got pace in that league, you're gonna stand out a lot more. And this brings me on to obviously a player I know you like very much, which personally I think is very overrated. That's Jude Bellingham. I think this is the thing with Jude Bellingham, especially in Spain, because of his physical attributes, it's making him stand out a lot more than really. Because I don't think his performances have been that good. I think he's just bringing obviously numbers and a physical presence to the league, and I think if other teams kind of get to grips with that, or his role in the team changes, I don't think Bellingham. Well, I know Bellingham doesn't have the technical ability to be maintained in that league. What do you think?
I don't know. I think when he first come on the scene, I did think he was going to be your box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
He's quite a big guy, physically strong.
Yeah.
Physically quick. All the physical attributes.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, the more I do see him play, the more I do feel he's quite composed on the ball. I feel like as he's getting older, he's
but composed compared to who? Who we compared him to?
Just in general. I mean, just like receiving the ball under pressure, whether it be in the defensive in the defensive part of midfield or the attacking part of midfield or in the central part of midfield.
Yeah.
He seems to be able to retain the ball, as well as all his physical attributes in terms of getting up and down the pitch, good in the air, strong. I mean, he scored a good goal in the first game, got in the box, got a strong head up, good timing of the run. I think he's the kind of guy that's got a bit of everything. I don't think he's going to be, like going around 3 or 4 players and putting the ball in the back of the net. I think he's going to keep the ball. I think he's going to get up and down the pitch. I think he's going to get his fair share of goals throughout his career. I think he can do a bit of everything. So that's why I think he's a good player. He's impressed me. He's better on the ball than I thought he was. I didn't think he was going to be as good on the ball as what he is, but he seems quite composed on the ball.
Yeah. But are you saying he's better on the ball than what you thought because of his stature?
Yeah, I thought he was more of a. Can't explain it. Just like trying to make a comparison between other players. I was going to say someone like Steven Gerrard, but Steven Gerrard was good on the ball. So really, really good on the ball. But it was more like, someone who you just notoriously think will get up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
Give the ball almost like someone like Conor Gallagher. You know, good in the challenge. Gets up and down the pitch, hunts people down like that. But I think maybe since he's gone to Real Madrid, he's taken it up to another level. And obviously he's only 20 as well. So I just think he's good all round.
I mean, in terms of his potential, you could possibly say, where do you think he's going to get to in terms of world football? Because obviously there's shouts of Ballon d'Or, and I'll be honest with you, if he was to win the Ballon d'Or, football's finished for me anyway. Yeah, but football will be confirmed as finished if he was to ever win a Ballon d'Or, because someone like him should not be winning Ballon d'Or, because the Ballon d'Or is nominated to, first and foremost, footballers, and footballers that have gone by, they're all comfortably better footballers than Bellingham. And I think if you take out Bellingham's numbers, you're not giving it to him because of the footballer. You know what I mean? So what do you think he's?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna blow you away by, as I said, going around 2 or 3 players, like someone like Lionel Messi. I don't think he's ever gonna do that. I don't think he's ever gonna, wow you with unbelievable goals, unbelievable individual goals. I think he'll get a lot of goals, and I think there will be, late runs into the box, arriving at the right time, headers, maybe the odd strike from outside the box. But I know, do you know what? I don't actually know how many goals he actually scored for Real Madrid this season. So that's why I'm just Wikipediaing it now. Let's have a look at his actual figures. Because that's what's going to get that. Inevitably, that's what's going to get him his recognition. Because if he can go through a whole season and get as many goals as he did this season, So in the league, he played 28 times. I think he played more than that. Scored 19 goals.
20 league games, yeah?
Well, this is what Wikipedia is saying. So throughout the whole season, he appeared 42 times for Real Madrid and scored 23 goals. I think that, if he can do that every season, and alongside everything else that he does in terms of he's winning the ball back, he's getting up and down the pitch, he's obviously physical. I think that makes him a very strong midfield player. Yeah. I mean, if he was just getting 23 goals, well, I'm just saying only, that's a lot. But he's also gone there to Real Madrid. He's won the Europe. They've won the European Cup. Obviously, it's not just him that wins the European Cup. They've won the European Cup. Yeah. They won the league this season, did they?
They won the league, yeah. League and Champions League this season, yeah.
And he had, it isn't all down to Bellingham, but he played a big part in the season. So I can see why he's up there as a Ballon d'Or contender. I'm not really in a position to say that I watched enough football to argue against it, but I do think he's a good player.
I think, in terms of the Ballon d'Or shots, as I said, personally, that can happen. I think Vinicius Junior wins that all day long. He's been Real Madrid's key player. I think if you look at the Champions League, for example, yeah, when Bellingham played against Man City, he was poor. When he played against in the final against Dortmund, he was poor. But then obviously he was the guy that played the last ball to Vinicius Junior, and Vinny scored. And to be honest with you, he was poor when it came to the latter stages of the Champions League. You know, obviously the league, you know, you'd expect Real Madrid to be dominating, well, majority every game apart from Barcelona. You would say it might be a bit of 50, might be a bit of an even game. But I watched a few of his games, and to be fair, he was never really in the game. It's just that what he's very good at, he's very good at arriving in the box late, and obviously, you know, getting the tap in, and that's what the majority of his game was. Obviously, don't get me wrong, there was a few good finishes in there, which you'd expect, but on the whole, yeah, his game wasn't the hype that he's getting for me is not justified in comparison to the performances he's putting in. And I think you can see that with England as well, because it's like he's been given the keys to the kingdom really for England. You know, he's got number 10 shirt on, which to me is a disgrace. You know, the fact he's got a number 10 shirt on when